What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. It's Annie here. Welcome, I should say, to my kitchen. This is another healthy recipe. This is one of my most favorite dinners ever. My husband's favorite that I make. It's a Bolognese sauce. Now, sometimes I will have it over spinach. Sometimes I'll have it over spaghetti squash. Tonight, I don't care. I'm having it over pasta. But it is so good, so easy, so healthy. But first things first, before we jump into it, if you are Italian and you know how to make proper Bolognese sauce, do not come for me. This is mine. This is what I find delicious. So without further ado, let's jump right into it.
We start the Bolognese with all the ingredients. You have your ground beef, you have an onion, basil, garlic, tomato paste, basil pesto if you want it, a big can of San Marzano tomatoes, and of course, the spaghetti sauce seasoning mix. So I start with about a tablespoon or two into the pot, let that get nice and heated, and then I will chop up one onion. This is actually a sweet onion, and I dice it up into small chunks. Put that in the pot, let that get nice and translucent, and once that happens, then I'll add about 3 to 4 big cloves of garlic. I press my garlic into it. Why is that thing always so hard to use? But once I do that, I let all the onion and the garlic mix together and get really aromatic. I just can smell it now, it smells so good. And then we move on to the meat. I usually do 85% lean, but this time I did 80% lean, and that extra fat actually made it so much more flavorful, so don't be afraid of that when you make this. And as I mix this all together, this is where the piece de resistance comes in. This is like the key ingredient, the seasoning mix. I always use Lowry's spaghetti mix. It's just really good. I like their flavoring better. Put one packet in, mix it all up, and then I will add the tomato paste. Now this just gives it extra richness in tomato flavor. I add about a tablespoon or two of the tomato paste. And then finally your fresh basil. Add as much as you want. I also add just like a dollop of basil pesto to it to give more flavor. And then of course, tomatoes you have to have. San Marzano tomatoes are literally the best tomatoes. So if you can find those, get a big old can and toss those in. And then I let it stew for about 2 hours if I'm lucky. That makes it so much better when you let it sit. And then 2 hours later, you start to boil the pasta, boil the water, cook the pasta, and then I add the last ingredient, a 1/4 cup of wine. This is actually a wine that we were drinking that night, so it was a good bottle, but it gives that extra body, that richness that makes it so decadent. And then finally, lots and lots of Parmesan cheese, and I put mine over spaghetti and a little bit of spinach. Well, I hope you guys make this and let me know what you think.